Welcome back to Heroes Next Door. Thank you all for watching. Today on Station Riggs, we are back in Leland Township near Traverse City in Michigan. This is Leland Township Fire Rescue. We're going to take a look at their hydrant truck. Hey, Brandon.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Nice to meet you again.
Yeah.
All right, so this is your hydrant truck.
Yes, portable hydrant.
Okay. Explain to us what this is and how it works.
So this truck, its job is to set up a water source because we don't have a municipal water system to get water out of the lake, creek, swimming pool, you name it, we can get it.
Okay, so it's pretty much a drafting truck?
Yes, all it does.
Okay.
Just drafts water.
When I'm looking at it, it initially looked like kind of like a brush truck.
One might think.
So what kind of chassis is it on?
It is on an F450 chassis with a 7.3 motor.
Ah, good motor.
It's got about 7,000 miles on the truck.
Okay, what year is it?
I believe it's a 2000.
Okay.
Yeah, 2000. Pretty simple.
Nice and clean.
Yep.
Yeah, very basic up front. All the working stuff's in the back, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Can you show me a little bit more around it?
Yeah, so in here we have just a generator and some chains and stuff because sometimes it ends up in a pretty precarious location.
Right.
Cam lock fittings, stuff like that. The generator runs our tower lights on this.
Okay.
All kinds of fittings. Any combination you could think of. We got tools and brooms and
right.
stuff like that. Different connections.
Now, can you pump directly from this truck, or is this simply a supply truck?
All supply.
All supply, okay.
Yep.
All right. So
this truck is used for filling tankers, or if we're close enough to the water source, we can go straight to the engine or the ladder or another.
Hence why we call it a hydrant truck.
Yes.
Because normally to fill a tanker, I would pull up to a hydrant, crack it open,
Right.
and just let it flow until the water comes out.
Right. This pulls up to the lake, boat launch, side of the road, anywhere we have close access that we can reach it with 4 lengths of hard suction.
Okay.
Got to be within 30, 40 feet.
Right. So how do you get it? Do you just tip that in? Do you have a filter?
So we have a strainer that goes on it, and
Okay.
that's kept over here. We have a couple options. We have a floating strainer
Okay.
that goes on it. And I don't know if you can see back in there, but we got an ice auger. So we'll drill a hole in the ice and then we'll put the tube in.
Wow. Okay.
So
So no matter whether it's frozen over lake or what, you guys can get the job done.
either way, we're getting to it.
Right.
So
Right.
Caterpillar engine with a, it's like a Darley pump on it.
That is absolutely massive. Is that the same kind of pump that you would have inside a fire truck?
Yeah, this pump's rated for 1,500 gallons a minute.
Wow.
But we
Okay.
can get a little more out of it because we don't have all the bends and tight turns that a normal plumbing on an engine would have.
Okay. Okay. What's this here?
This is a little floating pump. This is if we can't get this truck close enough. This only does about 200 gallons
Okay.
a
But
minute,
it's a backup though.
but it's a backup.
Right. Maybe a good brush fire that you need to throw that into a stream or something?
Yeah, most of the time if we're putting this out, we're gonna have this connected to fill a drop tank,
Okay.
and then we'll pump out of the drop tank to fill the truck.
Okay. It's a very simple concept, but a valuable two-piece of tool.
Extremely valuable. Every fire in the county, this pretty much goes on.
Okay. Normally on our show, we do a complete walk around. We open all the cabinets like we just did, and it takes us 15, 20 minutes to go around that. We've just been around the whole truck.
Yeah, you wanna go run it?
Yeah, that would be awesome. Can we do that?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, so this is gonna be more like a training days, so you guys get to come with us and put this truck into service and see how it works.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
So we were able to come from the station down to one of their local boat accesses, and I talked to Brandon on the way over. He's actually gonna show me how to do this. It's the first time I've ever used any piece of equipment like this, so you get to go along with me with the journey and figure out how to use a hydrant truck. We're gonna hook it to the ladder and we're gonna flow some water.
We gotta back this up and get her hooked up.
Okay.
Jordan, you wanna back it up? Back it up? Yep.
So we normally have 2 guys on the truck in order to back it up?
No, normally we only have 1 guy. Good.
So try to get it as close to the water as you can?
Yep.
Okay.
So take this.
All right.
Spin that cover off. I'll grab the strainer. Go ahead and run a recert line out. No, for this. So it's easy enough when you got a dock.
Okay.
Just pull that out. You look down here, you find the long one. Here.
Pull this out.
Flip it.
Does that go into the strainer then?
Yep, that end goes to the strainer, and that pivots. So
Oh, okay.
This pivots. We make it easy on ourselves so we can do it with 1 guy.
Oh,
so.
yeah, yeah. All right.
Nice and tight. You don't need to beat it on.
Okay. Tight is
And then
tight.
put that overboard. There you go. Then we take this.
It doesn't have to go way out?
No.
Okay.
It only needs a few inches of water.
Okay. A little tap there.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, now we got to hook our supply up.
Okay.
So we'll take this.
Going on this side or that side?
We got to take this off.
Okay. Got your safety.
Go ahead and turn it.
Got it? Okay.
Just set that right up there. And you want to take this and meet Zorran over at the ladder. He'll take this from you over there and hook you up.
All right, sounds good. So hook this on, line them up, turn, locked.
Yep.
And we're good, red to red.
Yep. All good.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and hook that up to there.
Okay.
That's our main discharge.
What's this hose coming out here?
That's a recirculating line.
Okay. Locked.
Yep.
We're good. So they got a recirculating line going on. This is going from the pump to supply the ladder, and the ladder's going to go up and then go from there. It's drawing from the suction filter back here that's just actually floating in the water. It's just high enough off the water. He says it only needs just a couple of inches to start drawing water from it.
Okay, so we're where we need to be. We're going to be set up here for a while, so we
Yep, stop, chalk it.
always chalk it. So go ahead and pull that primer.
Pull the primer
Yep.
here. Okay. How long do I keep it out?
You'll know. It'll
Okay.
change pitch.
Okay.
Push it in.
Push it in.
Okay. Turn the key part way. Push the Murphy switch. Start it up. Got water.
So this you just recirculated because it's not going to the pump yet, correct?
Right.
Okay.
This just goes back. And it doesn't need very much.
Okay.
So you just gate it down a little bit so it just hangs out.
Okay. So the dial that you did was the dial to dial up how much pressure you're trying to push.
This is our throttle.
Okay.
All right. Let's go help and set the ladder up real
Okay.
quick.
That was actually a pretty easy setup to do once
Yeah.
you know what steps to do.
Very fast. So Zorran's gonna pull the pans out,
Okay.
come to the back of the truck here, turn our stabilizer on,
Putting the outriggers out. Okay.
go out, we'll go down and he'll pin it.
Okay. And that's one on each side.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So he'll pin it, then we'll come over to this side, run this one out.
You're putting them as far out as you possibly can, right?
Yep. If it's short, we call it short jacking. If you have to short jack it, the truck limits how far you can go.
Okay. So is there a level that you're looking at to make sure
Right
it's
here
level?
in the middle of the truck.
Ah, okay. It makes it very simple.
That's pretty good. We're in the green.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and then we'll switch it over to aerial.
Okay.
And then James is gonna jump up on top. He's got the controls now because I switched it to aerial.
That's what you switched over.
Yep.
Okay. Now, normally during a fire or anything like that, he'd be packed up or have his gear on at least, right?
Yep.
Okay.
He'd probably have a pack on. There's a few of us that have our ladder belts integrated with our gear.
Right, right. I've seen those in certain gears. But here we also have to look out for wires,
overhead obstructions, things like that.
So when you're putting a ladder up, you normally get it to where you want it and then you push it into it, correct?
Yeah, that or we come down from the, get your length that you want and then come down
to it, okay.
So then Zorran's job, he's gonna run the pump down here.
Okay. So at this moment in time, is it basically 2 pump operators that you have to worry about?
Yes.
Okay. So unlike a hydrant where you plug the hydrant and it just flows, and you only have one, we're gonna control it in 2 different areas.
Correct.
Okay.
Go down on the nozzle a little bit.
So this really comes down to a coordination between all the guys that are on crew.
Yeah.
Not only are you looking for, you know, the pump operators, but the guys on the ground can help him know where the wires are, know where to go.
Right.
It's all that partnership and teamwork.
Yes.
So
it's a
training together.
It's a big orchestra.
Yeah.
And we do this a lot.
Man.
So basically what we're gonna end up doing is called a pump through.
Okay.
So we'll be the main horsepower on it. He's just gonna boost it just a little bit. So that means this truck's gonna be running lower RPMs.
So he don't have to idle up.
He doesn't have to crank it up so hard.
Does he run a pump then on this too, or is it just our pump?
Nope, he'll run the pump still because he's got the valve for the aerial.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and open that valve.
This one here?
Yep, nice and slow.
Nice and slow, okay.
And I'm gonna close this one.
Get it all the way open?
Yep.
Okay. Open.
Okay, we'll make sure he's got the water.
Coming. This tank is full.
Oops. So he just opened the valve.
And he's flowing already. Okay.
Yep.
So then what they're doing is they're actually just moving it over. We got some people down here that are in their own personal boat. We don't necessarily want to get wet. So you just had to move it over a little bit so these guys don't get rained on.
So Mike, that's not really super effective fire stream. So we're feeding him, that's just the pressure that we're giving him.
Okay, he's not running any pressure at all.
No.
But even now, as I was just saying to the camera, that's actually a pretty impressive amount of water just from what we've already set up.
It's probably only 300 gallons a minute.
Okay.
So we'll wind him up a little bit and give him some.
All right. I don't know if you can see this, but as he wound up the pressure, you can see that ladder kind of pushed back a little bit and raised up as that pressure goes out. And look how much farther that stream goes.
If we want more, we could take a tip off, that smoothbore tip, and get more.
Right. Now from there, he can control that nozzle from that platform, correct?
Or we can have a firefighter up on the pedal. Up on the pedal's locked in, and there's another panel up there to control.
Okay.
So from up there, all he can do is the nozzle from the top.
He can't do the turn.
He can't do the turn on the ladder.
Okay.
So.
And still, right now, this is all the pressure that's coming from the hydrant truck itself.
Just the hydrant.
Man, sorry about that, Zorran.
No, it's all good.
So, right now, we're looking at...
His master intake's about 50 pounds, which is about what you want on a 5-inch.
Okay.
To feed him.
Okay. And that would be typical off a hydrant or a hydrant truck.
Right. Okay, so now we're giving him more water than he's taking. And he's running that 2.5-inch pipe at 150.
Okay.
Which is pretty good. We'll idle him down, we'll make sure we're checking on our hydrant. Once that thing's set, you can pretty much
just kind of go back and forth.
Go back and forth and
okay. The advantage of this, using a drop system like this, is you have almost an endless flow of water. Many times in the city, if we plug too many hydrants, our whole pressure goes down and we can't maintain that 50 psi.
Right.
So at this point, you're shutting ours down, the supply line,
just shut our supply
and opening
line
up
down.
the backflow.
Yep.
So you don't get a hydro line.
The recert line.
The recert line. Okay.
We also keep it that way so we don't lose our draft.
Okay. Okay. Are you worried about sticks and fish and all that kind of stuff
Yeah,
around it?
that strainer has a double screen in it.
Okay.
And then when we're done, we just shut it off. We're idled all the way down. We'll
Okay.
just
Turn it
shut
down
it off.
and
Yep.
reverse the system. So if we were all done with the operations, they're gonna shut their stuff down. Do we have to wait for them to finish? Almost like they waited for us to get to them? Or can we all kind of shut down at
We
the
can
same
all
time?
kind of shut down at the same time once we stop flowing water.
Okay.
We pretty much wait till we're done. Like, this is the last thing that gets packed up on a fire scene.
Okay, that makes sense.
We have established water source. We're
Right.
not going to break that down before we.
Sure.
Before
In case
we're
a
all
hot
done.
spot shows up, you
Right,
still
right.
got water. So right now you can see the water coming out here.
Yep,
You're
so-
just opening up the valve to release that from up top, right? So now all that water that was in that pipe is just kind of releasing out here to release that pressure. You wait till that just gets to a trickle and then you can bring down the ladder?
You can start to bring it down. You can bring it down slow, but if you bring it down too fast, it starts spewing
Okay.
back out the top.
Okay, gotcha.
So now Zorran's disconnecting this 5-inch. He's got his pump shut down. He's got his tank pump open, just recirculating water. His tank is full.
Okay.
He's a fan of getting wet today.
I would have volunteered, but. So what else do you need to do here to shut this down?
So what I need to do next is take the truck out of pump, close my valves, put my seals back on, and then I'll help James take the ladder down.
Okay. And the ladder, as it comes down, it's got to go into a cradle, right?
Yep, so there's two little forks on the top of the truck that it kind of sits in.
And he just eyeballs that and lines that up as it comes down?
Yeah, there's actually a mark on the bottom of the platform that
Okay.
lines up with the truck. So there's two arrows to line up. So you line those up first, and then you should be able to bring it down.
Very simple.
And then he's also going to home the nozzle.
Okay. What does that mean, hone the nozzle?
So that will home it in a neutral
Oh,
position.
bring it back to home.
Yep.
Okay.
So all he has up there is a little switch, and when it gets home, the little red light or orange light comes on, letting him know that the nozzle is home.
Right.
So it'll kind of do one of these, and then it'll do a little up and down, and then it'll find its spot.
Okay. Now, the Hydrant truck can feed any engine, can feed any ladder, any tower, anything that you need, just like a regular fire hydrant.
Yes, and it fills the tanker.
Okay. How fast would it fill a 3,000-gallon tank?
We did it a couple weeks ago, and we had it in about 2.5 minutes.
2.5 minutes for 3,000 gallons into a tanker. That's absolutely amazing.
On 100 feet of 5-inch.
Man, that is amazing. So we had a building explosion a couple months ago, and we had a tanker task force that came in. They had to go to different hydrants and different places to get water and come back. You know tankers are full by kind of the overflow that they have.
Yep.
And many of them have lights nowadays.
And lights on the back.
Lights on the back. And even some engines now have those lights
Right.
that tell you what they're. Once again, this is Station Riggs. We're with the Leland Township Fire Rescue. We're working with Brandon. He just showed us how to use a hydrant truck. First time we ever seen one of these. It was very cool, very easy to use. If you're in areas that have a lot of flow and you need water, this is the way to do it. Brandon, thank you very much.
Not a problem. And if anybody has any questions on this, have them give us a call. We'll talk them through it.
Okay, if they want to get a hold of you, what are the places to get a hold of you?
We have our Facebook, we have our website, and we have our union page.
Okay, you're going to
So-
see those links below, so go ahead and click on those. Thank you for watching. Do us a favor, hit subscribe, hit notification, and we'll keep bringing you more. We're trying to hit that 100,000 subscriber mark. With your help, we can do it. So we'll see you again next week.